Yo, what's good? We back right after that break. Just had some hot music going. Like I said, we playing indie artists all week, all time. You know what I'm saying? So look out for that. But we're back, and we getting right back into what we were talking about and what we wanted to talk about. We wanted to talk about these platforms, these social medias, and all of these different platforms that when people start searching this information, they're gonna go to looking for the answers, and we just want to touch on that just a little bit, with Mr. Miller while we have Brother Miller here. So, what would you say to the people seeking information from these different platforms?
The internet. Let's be clear. The history of the internet is military. We know that the military used the internet first to get intel from other nations. Now we're able to utilize the internet individually as civilians. So now you gotta wonder, is there a cap on how much you're able to look at?
Right.
So now we do know that 2019, they took Farrakhan off of Facebook. And Amazon backed up Facebook by taking his books off their shelf. So that almost raised an economic war almost, in my mind, because
right.
What if I want to receive that?
What if I wanted to buy the book?
Right, and we're free to pursue any kind of information we want. I mean, you gave the Church of Luciferian all the rights to do what they want to do, and they worship what we call Satan. So, how is America truly our nation? I'm a proud African-American citizen. I found my roots in Nigeria, which is a part of the continent. It's just a country within the continent. And, we bring a lot of flavor. This is my boy, Ghana.
Right.
So, we still represent here in this nation of America. But we do know that they're combing through the information that they're presenting. A lot of people, YouTube channels is being shut down because, especially if they're talking that savvy stuff, because he's talking about plant life. Understand that I'm a part of agriculture. Why are we moving away from naturalistic to pharmaceuticals? We have a term called nutraceuticals, natural, nutrients, and ceutical, meaning medicines. So we're moving away from all that, and we're going into all pharmaceuticals. Why is that? They want to have a control over your health.
Right.
So that's one thing. And another thing about YouTube, they don't want you saying that the vaccines that they're going to force on us is wrong. Right. They want you to believe in everything they're saying. And these giant corporations do control people through imagery, and they're trying to put a monopoly on it. But again, internet is just one avenue. Don't think that you only have one avenue. Our ancestors spoke to each other, Indian style, talk and spread the history down, talked about remedies and all that. So get with your elders. Don't do what these guys doing, talking about, I don't want to listen to no old folks. You better figure it out now, because it's going to be a time where it ain't going to be nothing.
Yeah.
So I want to give y'all one more piece, because June, all right? We're still in June. Right. And that's why I'm loving the fact that he's dropping this video in June. Right. No time better than the 400-year mark.
Yeah.
So let me give y'all a little piece of this. All right, the rebellion, the abolishment and the rebellion, the Underground Railroad, this dates back to the 1700s and 1800s. Underground Railroad, 1700s. I got a lot of Haitian brothers out there talking about how Haiti was already freed from the France, and they had, I can't think of my guy named that led it, but Toussaint, yeah. So, but we still had Harriet Tubman here in America, and this is why I take my American pride, because that's 1700s. By the time the Civil War came, 1861, Abraham Lincoln was like, these people are already free, and we got them in our military, and they running around owning and having businesses. Right. It didn't make sense to have slavery, man. So don't forget that. Underground Railroad was already live and popping. People was getting free. Nat Turner, making the situation free.
Yeah.
Harriet Tubman, no less than 60 deep, with a shotgun, a woman.
Yeah.
She ain't had that shotgun to say, I'm gonna kill my oppressor. She had a shotgun to kill you if you're talking.
Right.
Like, so you on the railroad and you hurting, and you making too much noise in them creeks, she blowing your head off. And that's to her own people, to secure the rest of the people. So we took that slavery, we freed ourselves. Don't think that we needed somebody to free us. Right. We was already freeing ourselves. They just understood nationally and in the government that we need to put something in writing saying that, all right, we're trying to make it a little fair because black people was already in government. Look it up. More black Republicans was in government in 1800s. So, and then guess what? Abraham Lincoln had him in his cabinet and he was assassinated. JFK, hanged around Martin Luther King. Another one, assassinated.
Right.
So we do know that some white folks was helping bring the freedom and the liberty to the black Americans, and they was assassinated. You know, so that's part of the reason why these people died for us. All right, a lot of people don't really like Abraham Lincoln. I can understand his position, and I definitely respect what he ended up doing, whether forced to do it or not. He did that, and the paper was signed. So yeah, again, 1700s Underground Railroad, man, we was already doing it. Don't ever sit back and say, oh, we needed the government to do this for us. You know, so don't lose that little bit of information. So back to Facebook, we know that Farrakhan was snatched off, and so don't be discouraged. Keep putting that information out. They're just gonna have to keep shutting us down, and that's gonna give us the notion to make our own platform. Like, keep it over that end. Make our own. Y'all keep that. And then you're gonna see them crawl back to us, wanting to, you know, put their agents in place to make them money again. You're gonna see them crawl back to us. So once we start building our own thing again, then it's the perfect time, man. Look, you can't say that you don't have the opportunity. Everything is monetized. That means you can make money off your speech right now. You can make money off of it. And you know, as long as you're making good sense, keep pushing it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't promised to be a genius, you know, but keep pushing it and get the right people behind you. Get the right people behind you.
Yeah, it's definitely that time for unification. It's definitely that time for organization. We'll say that again, even when Marcus Garvey came, he said the biggest thing with the black man is that we're not organized. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely time. You know, this is the year, this is the 400-year mark. This is the time for us to start getting ownership of our freed selves. And when I hear ownership of our free selves, I definitely think about economics. I definitely think about economics, because if you are economically free, that is pretty much the one of the main pillars when it comes to having ownership of your freed self. You know, when we are employing our own people, that's ownership of your freed self. When you can make the finances, make the funds, make what you need to make to take care of your family and still watch your kids grow up. That's ownership of your free self. When you can have a successful black family while still being able to employ your people in work and have this is what I call ownership of free self. We've been free physically, but we're kept in such economic hardship that this is what facilitates what our culture has become: the pursuit of money, the pursuit of money, the pursuit of money, the pursuit of money. And other people can look and be like, well, you know, we know the things that are said about us, you know, by different people around the world who watch us and who watch the imagery by which we're presented, the imagery of us robbing, killing, stealing, the imagery and saying, this is who these people are as a free, you know, this is who these people are. This is who they are as a people.
They're not intelligent enough to own their freedom and operate.
They're free, and now look at what they're doing. But we still don't have that ownership of our freed self. And that is going to come through hard work. That's going to come by us building. That's going to come by us pulling together, setting up infrastructure. And I talk to people about we need economic freedom. Oh, well, we had Black Wall Street and they burned that down, so that's not going to work. We've always been on the right track. We've always been on the right track. What King said back then, what Malcolm X was saying back then is still as relevant today, you know what I'm saying, as it was then. Things take different forms. Water can freeze, water can go vapor, water can whatever, but it's still water. The information is still pertinent. But we get discouraged every time we fail. Oh man, well, they burned down Black Wall Street, so I'm not worrying about that buy black thing anymore. So this is the fight. This is the battle. And the discouragement is gonna come, like they said, taking Farrakhan down off of Facebook, taking his books out of Amazon. They took down Boyce Watkins. And all Boyce Watkins ever did was talk about black economics. Boyce Watkins has never been a revolutionary, never even presents himself as such. He's only talked about building a mindset to build wealth in your community. And his YouTube page and all of his books were taken down.
They're making them loops where Umar Johnson can't build his college.
Yeah.
So
You know?
it's a tough one.
So it's in order for us to not get discouraged with the work that we are now tasked at doing, we have to understand the nature of where we are. We have to understand that there is hostility against us, whether it be for race or whether it be for fear of what, when this nation rises, they will now be economic competition for our nation. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether they want us to do it or not. It doesn't matter whether they condone us do it or not. It doesn't matter if they support us doing it or not.
It don't matter.
It does not matter.
Because you done lived through the struggle already. We the ones that came through oppression and depression and suppression, meaning jails.
Right.
So at this point, we're just gonna keep pushing forward. I want to say one more thing. As the ambassador, I want y'all to know, culture is made up of 3 aspects. That is art, science, and religion. The science is that frequency that we're picking up on.
Right.
The science is the learning of, Charles Drew with the blood plasma, black man found that. You know who George Washington Carver, the peanut, multiple purposes for plant life. Benjamin Banneker built the White House, Pentagon, blueprints.
Right.
McNair, second astronaut to go into space. Black man in space. All right. So we're talking about a different level of science. Art. Name your art.
Right.
Martial art.
Right.
Culinary art.
Right.
Visual art. Music. Performing. Religion.
Right.
You can identify culture with a religion.
True.
That's a whole prism of every color you can get.
Right.
To make you some money to get what you need to do. So first align yourself with your culture and represent it. You know what I'm saying? Because we do know hip hop put Obama in office.
Yep.
Okay. So everybody that jumped up and said we're gonna vote, that put Obama in office, man. That was arguably the first black president. We do know there was black representatives all throughout time in our nation. There's never been a time when black people wasn't in government, y'all. Never. So now you gotta understand, let's get our culture and hold it, because they definitely would take it and use it and make money off of it. And in a lot of cases, bamboozle you about it.
Leave us with nothing.
Yeah, and make you the fool.
Right.
Make it a clown. And we all know that America is the origins of blackface. Blackface meaning white people covering their face. Blackface, America is the originators of that. When they ran around with their monkey shit and showing the imagery of what a black man is. A lot of people believe that's what black people is about. But how you gonna do that when we got all these scientists, all these artists, and all these religious leaders? Martin Luther King speech, I have a dream. I can't give you the number, but let's just say it was a lot of people there to hear that one man speak. That moment, he was more important than the president.
Yep.
So don't take nothing lightly, man. And again, 1700s, we was freeing ourselves. That's 1700.
Right.
Nah, you got a whole lot of Gullah wars where blacks and Indians was already killing people that was oppressing them. These are stories that they're not gonna put easily made information for you to know.
You ain't gonna find this on. You ain't gonna find a lot of this on your Google. You ain't gonna find a lot of that on your YouTube.
It's right here. You can't come to this channel though, and you can find all that out with us. So yeah, I just wanted to give them like that, man. Don't ever forget, culture is what finds solution to our social problems. That's art, science, and religion. Those 3 aspects, you can build everything, and all those aspects creates history.
Right. That's what we're here to do. We're here to take back our culture. Because as long as we allow others to live off of our culture, like he said, as we said, they will continue to produce and make mass advancements and progressions off of our culture while we're left in the dust. We have to start loving ourselves first. We know, the American, conversation is all inclusion and everything like that. Yeah. But until we have our house, there is no inclusion. We're living in someone else's house. Yeah. So that person can be hospitable to you while you're in their house, but until you get a house of your own, you don't truly have freedom. You're not truly represented as you are among everyone else. So this is the time for us to now, as I believe that Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, I believe that they should have worked together. because Martin Luther King had the right statement of we need to integrate and you know, learn how to deal with them. But I believe Malcolm X's build the black nation and build the economics and build up your communities. I believe that's what allows you to sit at the table with leverage. If everyone at the table is a representative of a nation and you have one person sitting at the table who's not, he has no leverage at that table. He has no political pull. He has no economic pull to pull resources from anywhere. I think before we can fully understand integration and we're all included, I think we first need to take that time, now that we've reached this landmark time where people are mentally waking up, spiritually waking up, and even Malcolm X said the biggest problem he had during his time was trying to unify a sleeping people. You know, first you have to wake the people up, then you can easily organize them around goals and ideas. So now that the people are waking up, this is our time to say, listen, we know all inclusion and we're all mankind, we're all the children and all of that is good, but right now this is time for us to organize, for us to develop, for us to build, and then we can understand what inclusion is when we're all standing from the same level. But we can't depend on others to help us get there. We can't reach for others to get there because they're trying to feed their own families and feed their own people. And rightfully so, because we need the same mindset as well. So, your boy, Brother Royce, one time for your mind. We out here with G.L.U.E Movement Radio. We out here with Mr. Miller. Mr. Miller, give him your Instagram or any partner information you want to give him before we sign off.
All right, really quick. From the fashion to the space exploration, there's always a black man in that room. So own that, man. You know, we're not monkeys. Nope, we gorillas and apes. But anyway, we ain't gonna say it like that. You can find me on Instagram, blacksheep_cap. Not cap that you wear, but the captain. We're leading the black sheep. You can find me on Facebook as David Miller. That's my real government name. Go on there and see what all the stuff I'm doing in the community. But at Instagram, you know, we having fun with that. So you can find me on those two platforms. And you most definitely can find me periodically on G.L.U.E Movement Radio.
For sure, for sure. And we are out. Blessings.